Hi, thanks for joining me. So this is going to be kind of an off-the-cuff, just vlog discussion video about No Man's Sky. I'm getting really excited for this. It's coming out in just a few days, so the long-term usefulness of this video is going to be slim. But I wanted to talk about it while before the game is out and sort of while the hype is fresh and it's fresh in my mind, because I watched a whole bunch of videos about the game last night, and it just got me thinking about it. I wanted to share some of my thoughts with you guys. So, I guess for starters, I'm really excited for the game. I think just the premise of it, obviously the tech behind it, the fact that it is a small team, it's kind of an indie game, but it's extremely ambitious, and it really looks like kind of a full-blown, at the very least, like a double A, if not a triple A title that's obviously super ambitious. I'm just really, really excited to just check it out and see what it has to offer. In terms of my personal expectations, I guess I'll get this out of the way right off. All that I'm expecting from it is essentially the kind of experience that I get from a Bethesda game in terms of like the Elder Scrolls or Fallout. And that's not to say that I even expect No Man's Sky um, to to be this sort of oh gosh, somebody's doing something loud. Anyway, I'm just going to keep recording. Hopefully it's not too annoying. Um, the kind of experience where, there's like all these quests and all of this, I guess, content in terms of, um, an obviously crafted world, because that's what Bethesda does. This is a procedurally generated world, and I think just by its nature is going to be like different from that kind of an experience. But what I mean more is just that those are the kind of games that I just like crack out to completely for like 2 to 4 weeks, usually, sometimes longer. But that's about it. That's usually my limit on Fallout or Elder Scrolls, and that's awesome. Like, I love that, and I mean that really gets me. If I'm like really cracking out hard, like I might be playing a couple hours a day, plus maybe 4 hours a day on the weekends or something like that, if you want to put it that way. So, maybe that might almost be like 15 to 20 hours a week that I'm putting into like that particular game. So, I mean, let's say it's 15. 2 weeks is going to be 30 hours. 4 weeks is going to be 60 hours. So, I mean, a 30 to 60 hour experience, I think would be ideal for me, for No Man's Sky. That's all I'm really, looking for from it. Now, in terms of my expectations of the gameplay and things like that, I expect it to be just sort of like an exploration simulation. For me, what I think I'm so excited about it is that it reminds me of kind of like the original Star Trek. If you were like, no, just completely free to like hop into a starship, and it's like you're gonna boldly go where no one has gone before. You're gonna seek out life. You're going to, I forget what the whole spiel is, but that's how I see this game, and we don't know a lot of details about it so far, but what we have seen, I think, looks really exciting. It looks like we're going to be doing things like mining planets for resources. It looks like we're going to need those resources for things like our, life support system. Just having fuel for our ship. Keep upgrading our equipment. Looks like you're going to be upgrading your multi-tool, which is kind of your weapon slash mining tool. I mean, and who knows what else it's going to do. I mean, you have looks like a scanner that you can use. I don't know. I'm assuming that's part of the multi-tool of that sort of functionality is going to be upgradable. Looks like you're going to be upgrading your ship. Which seems really exciting. There's so much potential, and I think that's part of why there's a certain amount of apprehension around this game, and I really want to address a little bit of like the hype around the game too, so to speak. So I mean, obviously, like it's just from a technical standpoint is tremendously interesting, and I think like it's a huge achievement even before it's been released. Like I think that the what they've done, having these, oh gosh, I forget what it is, but something like 18 quintillion planets is awesome. It's like an actual genuine complete universe simulated in a video game. And you guys can read, just watch a video or something about how that tech works and that sort of thing. But suffice to say, it's because everything's procedurally generated and it's generated on the fly, so it's not storing assets. That's a huge shift, in just sort of like the paradigm of game creation. And games have used that as a similar style before, but this is sort of taking it to its logical like conclusion, and nobody has ever gone as far as Hello Games have with this concept. So for that alone, this game it's already achieved something. It's already some sort of like a milestone. But when it gets down to it needs to be a fun, sort of compelling game, and who knows? We don't know. It's going to come out here in a few days. But I in watching all of the videos that I watched last night, I did notice some interesting things in terms of other people's expectations and like the comments that people were making, about the game. And so I sort of talked about what my expectations are for it, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. But in terms of other people's expectations for it, I think there are a few things at work which I notice, which I think is interesting. So one of the things that I kept seeing coming up over and over again is is in terms of one is sort of like, what do you do in the game, and two really has to do with multiplayer. Now, I think when people first see this game, maybe they just see screenshots or some video, or some people are talking about it. It's No Man's Sky, No Man's Sky. What is it? And I think there's a certain large amount of gamers out there who game in a way that I think is popular now. And they're, I guess what I would call social gamers and competitive online multiplayer gamers. Now, I have a friend who falls into this category, so I'm very familiar. I mean, he's a super cool guy. We've been friends since like grade school, and I love him. And but he loves playing in this style, and it really helps give me a perspective, I guess, into like what a subset of that group of people is looking for in a game. And in his case, he doesn't necessarily have all the free time in the world to play video games. He doesn't necessarily have all of the money to put into his hobby to play video games. So he's really looking at buying just a handful of games each year, maybe 3-4 games, birthdays and Christmas, and a game for himself here and there. And it's he talked about a subset of the group of people that he plays with, which he called I think he called them ADD gamers, where it's always about like the newest multiplayer game, for them, and they can't like stick with the game and play it for a few months. So you have people like that. So I think these people are looking for essentially competitive multiplayer experiences, and they're always looking for the next big game. But I think what they're looking for, what a large group of people are looking for, is some sort of sort of big, expansive multiplayer game that they can play for for a few months or even like a year or something like Destiny, for instance. And I'll group into like MMOs, like World of Warcraft, something like that. I know the World of Warcraft crowd. I mean, I don't maybe know them intimately, but I mean, I've played World of Warcraft for a couple months, and just that sort of mentality. I played, I don't know, Final Fantasy 11 for a few years, and it's exciting to be able to like find a game like that where like I said, it's social. There's a lot of content. You're going to keep playing it for months or years, and it's this whole big kind of online social experience. And so if you haven't already, figured out where I'm going with this as I blab on about it forever, um, you know, I think that is what a large portion of video gamers these days are looking for. They're always kind of on the lookout for that next big expansive multiplayer experience, and I think when they hear No Man's Sky and they see that it has whatever 18 quintillion, it might not be 18, but however many quintillion planets, and you see screenshots of it and it looks first person and it kind of looks like something that would be one of these big multiplayer online games. I think people have these unrealistic expectations of it, that it's going to be one of those games, that it's going to compete with Destiny or Call of Duty or an MMO like World of Warcraft or something, to be this next big thing. And there may be things feeding into that. I mean, maybe if you read Kotaku or something like that, maybe they keep going on and on about No Man's Sky, and people are getting these unrealistic expectations. Suffice to say, just from what I've heard about No Man's Sky, it is not a multiplayer game. It is not going to replace Destiny. It is not going to. It's because it's not even trying to be that kind of game. It's essentially an enormous single-player game with some online elements. Something along the lines of the kinds of online elements that are in something like Dark Souls, where or maybe Dragon's Dogma is a good example, where it's essentially a single player game, but like there is a certain level of interaction, very limited, with an online community that kind of makes it worthwhile to have an internet connection and have it just sort of cross over like some information online. So they have said that this game is going to be playable offline, so you do not need to be connected to the internet. You don't need PSN to play it. It's not a multiplayer game. It is not a multiplayer game. So all of those people who are looking for that next big multiplayer online experience, just don't play this game. Just don't even bother. I mean, if you can play it if you're looking for a different sort of like massive single player experience, but this just isn't one of those games. And I think a lot of people are they're lumping this game in with their expectations for the next big online multiplayer game. I've already said that. So that's my take on that. I guess in terms of what we've seen about the game, and a little bit more about my expectations. Like I said, this game looks amazing. I'm one of those people that I think when I get into a game like Elder Scrolls or Fallout, one of the things I really enjoy is exploring the map. Just sort of seeing like what all the different areas are that the game has to offer, and just the little the little elements. I maybe Fallout 4 in particular, because I just played a bunch of that recently, and it was the same thing. I mean, I played it for 2 weeks, and then I put it down for like a long time, months, and then I picked it back up again and played it, probably again pretty hardcore for a few weeks, and you find those little elements of they put these little narrative bits in it that aren't there aren't even necessarily quests or anything like that, but just you can sort of see like the aftermath of something that's happened, and it's super interesting. And I don't know I don't even know that we're going to get anything much like that in No Man's Sky, but I think we're going to get some of it. You know, you have these relics that you're going to be able to find. I've already seen, you know, we've seen some stuff on it where you have like almost a little bit of like interactive fiction that happens around them, where you go and you know, you get these hints of like other civilizations, and you know, you're going to be finding like words from different alien races, languages and things like that. So I'm really, you know, I think that sort of content is going to be compelling. You also have just the sheer joy of exploration in terms of like what is going to be on all of these planets. You know, what kind of planet is this going to be? What's its atmosphere? You know, what sort of flora and fauna may it or may it not have on it? You know, what's under the ocean? What's in the skies? What, you know, and it doesn't seem like we're intended to spend, you know, a whole bunch of time on each of the planets that we go to necessarily. I think we're going to have goals in terms of, you know, the kinds of resources that we want to get, and you know what we're going to be trying to do in terms of like upgrading our equipment and things like that. So, I mean, I have no idea how this is going to play out in terms of stringing together some kind of motivation. It sounds like, you know, they've said over and over again, we're going to be kind of motivated to get to the center of the universe. And I was thinking about what exactly does that mean, and you know, who knows? Really, who knows? But I'm just imagining, like, let's say we start off and, you know, somehow we, I don't know, like, you know, an alien race is going to destroy humanity or something like that unless we can, you know, reach the center of the universe. And I don't know what. Like, in order to do that, we have to kind of, you know, establish a good enough relationship with, you know, one of the established alien races, so that we can, you know, we can make it there or something like that. And so, you know, that becomes part of the goal in terms of, you know, the gameplay. And then you know, the things that you're doing, like, let's say, because I think it really needs to be, I mean, like, people, I heard I heard one guy say in one video, like, what are you going to go to the planet and smell the flowers and then move on to the next one? So, you know, even like, I think there needs to be some sort of compelling satisfaction, you know, that you get just from like seeing what's on these planets. I think there's going to be a sense of, you know, oh wow, a little bit of awe, you know, at that. But that may wear out, and I think that's a legitimate concern. That's something I'm concerned about, and I think other people are concerned about. So, you know, as long as like some of this stuff is built into the gameplay, like, let's say you're scanning the you know, the fauna, and even like just scanning that stuff, maybe like you upload that information, and that puts you in better standing with like a scientific race that is interested in exploring the universe and like cataloging all of the different life forms on it, and that then you know, helps you towards your goal of getting to the center of the universe and doing, you know, whatever it is that you are trying to do. And you know, and maybe it has anyway, maybe it has other benefits, but that is the kind of thing that I think could make the game be really compelling. And you know, other people have said like it's kind of about this sandbox, and I think some of it is going to come down to like how compelling is it to keep visiting all of these planets, because there's more planets than you could ever. I mean, who knows how many planets you're going to visit in a playthrough in this game, you know, before you're good. You know, you're going to visit 50, or you're going to visit 100, or you're going to visit 500. I mean, that's a lot of planets. And there's however many quintillion planets. I mean, it's mind-boggling. It's a literal universe of planets. So, you know, some people are like, well, it's going to get boring. I mean, obviously it would get boring if you try to like, I mean, you couldn't in like a billion years visit all of these planets. So, you know, like I said, I think that needs to be strung together with some kind of at least narrative sort of goal, and you know, it sounds like that they've tried to do that. So some of it I think is just going to be like, how compelling is that, and how compelling are the things that you can do along the way. And I'm excited because they may have pulled this off completely, and it may just be this amazing experience, but it's never going to be a multiplayer online competitive game. It's never going to be a multiplayer online cooperative game. It is not a big multiplayer online game like so many people are focused, I think, solely on playing. Some people, you know, and I think it's a big chunk of people, are only looking for that kind of experience. That's not what this game is. So in terms of the hype, some people might be really disappointed with this game. You know, so I hope that this game is everything that we're hoping that it will be. But I think, you know, there's a good group of people that are like looking at this and they keep going, well, what are you gonna do? And you know, this game looks like it's gonna be boring. I think that they might be right if that's the kind of experience they're looking for, because they're not going to get what they want from the game. But like I said, I'm extremely excited for it. I would urge you guys to, you know, look up some videos about the game in terms of like the, you know, the tech behind it. I mean, you guys probably already know all about the game, but you know, they've really released quite a bit of information at this point now, as it's just about to come out, on, you know, different gameplay styles and, you know, trading and just, you know, sort of the surviving aspect of it and stuff like that. So you know, there's a lot of information out there. You know, see what it's like, and you know, temper your expectations. But I think this is one of the most, I mean, hands down, I would say this is the most ambitious space exploration game ever. And you know, I can't even say that I've played much sort of like big sci-fi exploration sort of games. I mean, I played some StarCraft, not StarCraft, Star Control back on the Genesis and stuff like that, and yeah, you know, probably a handful of other sci-fi games like that, but this just looks incredible. So I can't wait for No Man's Sky. I did pre-order my copy. I got notice that it was shipped out from Best Buy like yesterday. So it's supposed to arrive on Tuesday. Really, really looking forward to it. Let me know what you guys think, you know, of this game. If you're psyched for it, if you're not, if you have, you know, concerns about it, or what, you know, what you expect from it. I'd really love to hear your thoughts. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you'll join me again for more video games and video game videos and anime related videos. Take care.